Hello, good morning, happy Monday. How was your weekends? How are you all doing today? I got a decent amount of sleep last night, so I'm happy about that. Finally recovered from that long bike ride I did on Saturday. It was surprisingly much hotter than I had anticipated. But all right, so what are we working on today? Oh, right. We have I actually planned this out. So over here, let's see, we are testing this bug report out, which is, so somebody mentioned to me in a YouTube comment, good morning, Chantilly, hello. Somebody mentioned to me in a YouTube comment that they couldn't get Trunk working without installing Wasm Bindgen CLI themselves. And so I want to just verify that because we also had the one of the maintainers from Trunk in here saying that that wasn't a requirement. So I just wanted to do my due diligence, just double check and verify that this isn't a problem. And if it is, then we'll create a quick video, sort of like close to the introduction or close to that section that just says, "Hey, you may also need to install this." So let's go ahead and get this done. So I created like a checklist of things to do for this. So step one, we need to reproduce the problem, but because I already have everything working on my system, actually just all the systems that I could program on, we're going to do this inside Docker. So I'm thinking, let's come over here to code, playgrounds. We're going to do let's make sure we have the latest version of Rust. We're just going to do a rust up, a cargo, new, I guess we'll just call this like Yew.rs. Because that's what we're playing with, Yew.rs and Trunk. Okay, so I'll open up code in there. All right, so what do we need from here? We're gonna do Rust latest. Okay, so we have some ads. What do we actually need to do to get everything working? Let's go look at the instructions again at Yew. All right, so install Rust. So we're gonna have that with the Docker, the Rust image, and then we're gonna have this Rust up target add wasm. Okay, so we'll do a run this. Then we install Trunk. And then we should be ready. So our command essentially would be trunk serve. We need a directory to do this in. So we'll have a volume. I like to use /code for this. Then we'll have a work directory of /code. It's going to run this command trunk serve. I also need to expose port 8080 so we can actually see and make sure it's working in a browser. And I think that might be it. We also need to set up set up Yew inside of here. I want to say that there's now a cargo add as a thing now. Let's go ahead and set this. Do we want to set this up now? No, I want to wait until I have a trunk and everything else in here. So. Okay, so cargo tumble. Let's install Yew. Almost done with the reanalyzing. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna use Yew. Come on, Rust Analyzer, give me some help. Okay, so you can find that at the very least. We're gonna have to create a brand new component here. Let's see, for app, we're not going to take anything in. Okay, so we have our main function here. What do I want to do? I want to spin up this, and I guess it's just like what? Yew start app. I think it's something like that. All right, so we're good to go here. Let's build our Docker file. Oh, I could build the image here. I haven't actually tried that in VS Code before. Build the image. Tag the image as Yew.rs latest. Oh, right, because that's the name of the yeah, we could do that. So Berserker / Yew.rs latest. And let's see if that works. I suppose I should have actually started building the image before I started doing the other code, because now we have to wait for this. And this takes probably a little while. Dylan Landry, hello. Good morning. How are you doing today? Happy Monday also. We are verifying a bug that was reported with our Introduction to US course. specifically that we may or may not need to install Wasm-Bindgen CLI to get things going. So we're experimenting with that right now. I actually don't think that we need to anymore, but there might have been like a version in the middle between now and when the bug was reported that happened. I don't know, maybe. However, the latest one is what we're checking. Also, I was chatting with one of my friends is running a course. So hold on, let me find. Let me open up Twitch chat over here. Okay, so I have to do, what is it? Marker. Okay, so. All right, so I had a question in one of the other Discords I want to, I think it'll be easier to sort of like explain by talking instead of just trying to write out a whole bunch of stuff. So the question was, how do we secure our API keys? Because this is kind of important. If our API keys get exposed, other people can make calls with them. The least bad thing that could happen to us is that we get a nasty email from GitHub or some security company saying, we found your key on GitHub. Do something about it. Worst case example is they can now make calls as us. This could be as like not good as they could just use up all of our transactions for the month, or they could have us be charged a huge amount of money. It really depends upon the API key that we're talking about and what it can do. It's also possible that this is something that they can just, steal all your data, or maybe find more keys and then do bad stuff with those. So yes, it is important to basically keep them secure. So number one rule, do not put them in your source code. GitHub, even a private repository, is not considered secure. Consider the Heroku breach that happened not too long ago. Attackers were able to get into and look at the GitHub code sources for private repos. So the GitHub is not secure. Environment variables are secure, provided that you do them correctly. So once again, if you create a .env file, make sure to add it to your .gitignore so it doesn't accidentally get onto GitHub. Otherwise, we're right back into the same place that we were with just on GitHub. This does mean that wherever you deploy, you have to then add environment variables. So let's say you're deploying to Heroku. Heroku has a config system where you can go ahead and add environment variables. They call them config and variables through the CLI or through the web interface. Either way is going to be fine. You put the production environment variables into Heroku. You keep dev environment variables locally on your development machine. And then that way you can now have essentially your app work in one way locally and a completely different way remotely. Another thing that I see newcomers to coding sometimes don't think of, environment variables don't only have to be super top secret type stuff. Environment variables can also be for just changing how the app works. If you want it to work one way when it's on your local system, like let's say console logging here, out everything, but then in production it doesn't do that at all, that is something you can set in an environment variable. So basically to go over that again, environment variables are probably the best way to handle this, and you will have to manually set up wherever you're deploying to and add environments variables in there. Places like Roku have systems for this in place. I think you mentioned you're using Netlify. I'm sure that they have a system for that. I haven't used it myself, but they've got to have something in place for that. You'll just have to go and find out where it is. So with that, hopefully that's helpful, and happy coding. Okay, well, it's a little bit awkward for the end marker, but that was that. All right, so this is done. Okay, so I created the build. Now I should be able to those are containers. Okay, so I should be able to now spin off a container from this. Can I actually do this from here? Oh, I can do, okay, run interactive. Well, that's not helpful. Yeah, I want to, run interactive, probably what I want to do. No? That's not what I want either. I don't think I can associate a volume with my local system here. Oh, that would have been cool if I could do that, but I guess I can't actually do that. Okay, so we're gonna jump into a terminal and run this that way. So we're gonna do Docker run. I'm okay with having this be a --rm. Actually, okay, so it's not using this one. So we're gonna do a Docker run. So remove when you're done. Then we have to have, okay, we have our port. So 8080 to 8080. We have our volume, which is gonna be here. To /code. I think that's going to be it for it. So then this is Xerker Yew.rs latest, and that should be good. Let's see if that works. Error getting canonical path to source HTML file. All right, so we can fix that. This looks like it's working just fine. There's a lot of WASM bindgen stuff being done behind the scenes, so I would bet that this has been fixed. If it was a problem, but I could imagine that maybe it was like there was one version or like half a version, or that where maybe it was an issue, but I'm guessing that it's not an issue anymore. As soon as this finishes, we'll know for sure. all the fun of compiling this though. Let's see. I can't turn that. Create a highlight from that video right now, right? While we're waiting. Let's see if we go to content. Let's see. I can click the highlight button. Oh yeah, I can. So if I go there. And I go there and go backwards a few minutes. Oh yeah, error from the HTML pipeline. Unsupported architecture. Hold on, let me. Okay, so I created that. Publish the highlight, and this is gonna be highlight. Storing environment variables. Oh, I have to wait till it renders. Okay. All right. So error with this. Caused by error from asset pipeline, failed downloading and release archive, unsupported architecture. I think we ran into this before. Unsupported architecture is because we're running this on a Mac in Docker. So that's, I think that's why. I think I might be able to do a build and run it somewhere else. Padada, hello. So that's something to be considered. That being said, I believe that this is going to work just fine as is. This was the WAS and BindGen thing. Yeah. Oh wait, this was the WAS and BindGen thing, and then we install WAS and BindGen CLI, and this fixes it. Oh, yeah, downloading WAS and BindGen version 0.2. So maybe it is a problem. Okay. Let's try this. We'll run. Actually, I don't need to. Okay, so let's do run cargo install. Is it cargo install WAS and BindGen CLI? Let's see. I want to just double check that that's exactly the command, because they didn't have any README in the actual CLI. Okay, so cargo install. Okay, so they recommend this: cargo install -f WAS and BindGen CLI. So let's try that one. So. All right, so here's what we're going to do with this image. We're going to now add this in there, which means we need to rebuild Yew. So build image. This is now the latest again. I can't remember. Is it possible to do multiple tags at the same time? In Docker, do I have to like do multiple builds? Or is it after the pass? After it's done? I've always like, because I don't really make images for like other people to consume. I always just tag with latest. Let's see. Homeless. You're trying to build Angular form. Should you use template-driven approach or reactive approach? What do you mean by, like, what is your definition for those? I have sort of like my thoughts of like what template-driven and reactive-driven are, but I want to make sure that I understand it from your point of view. It's like, what do you mean by template-driven and reactive approach? Easy game, easy life. Hello. What is Yew.rs good at? So it's a Yew.rs is a front-end framework similar to React. So I guess like it's good at being a front-end framework in which you can program with a strongly typed language, Rust, and then create WebAssembly. And so basically all the benefits and negatives from using WebAssembly, and then basically, so like really fast runtime, slightly slower setting up because WebAssembly doesn't have you don't have partial upload support for that right now. So basically the entire binary has to be sent up all at once. There is server-side rendering. We haven't played with it ourselves, but it is a thing. Basically, it's front-end framework. It's just like the others. So whatever their benefits are, Yew has it too. So you can change them with and slash, just like sh. Oh, with this one, yeah, I could have done that. Oh, I think I could have done a run cargo install trunk and run this one. Okay, but you're done now. So now I want to run you again, and we do the same thing. And we'll see if this works. If you're a Rustist and don't want to leave your bubble and have to build a web app, then that's what Yew is good at. I mean, that's also true. That is also very true. If you don't want to, if you're allergic to JavaScript and you just do not want to use it in any way whatsoever yourself, and you want somebody else to create it, then no. Also, no, I'm not going to answer that. This is not that kind of stream. Let's see. Hey, that worked. That was pretty fast. Oh, right, because all the other things were previously installed, so they're sitting there. But our server is now listening at localhost 8080, so I should be able to go and navigate to it. Oh, right. I forgot. It's listening at port 127.001. I need it to be listening to 0.0.0.0 for reasons. So that is, I believe, in the cargo.toml file. No, that's not right. There's a trunk.toml file. Right. There's a trunk.toml file that we need to create. And they have sort of examples of what this is going to look like. And it's going to be here in serve. We'll have this section. I don't think we need anything else. It's gonna be using the defaults if I don't put stuff in. So pretty much like the only thing I really need in here is you. To override, and this will become 0.0.0.0. All right. That doesn't rerun it, right? That's not going to magically start working? No. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, there we are. It is now serving at 0, 0. And if I come here, we now see our hello world. All right, so I think we have to, yeah, that does seem to be an issue. And we were able to fix it, so we created a Docker file, we spun up a container, we launched a server, and we did reproduce the problem. It really is a problem. So now we need to plan our video on how to get, we need to plan this video. So let's see. One thing, I need to go find that repo again. Where am I going to put this in here? Okay, so it's going to have to be in front end, Rust, Yew. Probably I'll just do a lessons. Sorry, this is going to be really small, but okay, so we have installing Rust and some nice Rust cargo packages. Hello world in Rust. Oh, hello world in Yew.rs. Okay, so I think actually right after setting up Rust, we should probably have another setting up where we install Wasm Bindgen CLI, because at that point everything else will just work. That's it. So after setting, okay, so we're gonna do another thing here. We'll have, this is gonna be installing Wasm Bindgen CLI. Do I not have the, I must not have the extension. There's some extension I had gotten. Oh, this was on a Windows computer that we did this. That's why I don't have the extension here. It's something about like Markdown table. Oh, here, I have Markdown table installed. So why can't you find this? Okay, close it. Can I? So what is it? One. Well, that's too bad. tab is not really doing it. Not recorded yet. Section, we're going to do setting up. Description. In new versions of Rust since the course was recorded. Or I'll just state we need it. Wasm bindgen CLI is required to run trunk without errors. I was really hoping that would work. That does not work, so make you line up all nicely. Oh, and now you create a new one for me, which I don't really care for. No, wait a second. That's not a new one. That's just a same line. Okay, there we go. So, that is you. Following wasm bindgen CLI. Oh, this is a new. I'm on my Mac now, so I don't even have. Oh wait, no. I do have it because OBS is on the other system. So where is that? That's gonna be under. No, that's course record. Oh yeah. So it's gonna be this. That's my Windows system. So I'll go to this one, back to Mac, and then to that one. Okay. Which means I need to set up my Stream Deck for that now. So in course, I have, okay, so we have start, main goes to the wrong place, and end. Okay, so that I just need to change main. Okay, so for you, this is gonna be main scene. I want you to go to Mac main. And I don't have anything else flashing or showing up on the screen, so this should be fine. Which reminds me that I think I forgot to put my chat on screen. Maybe I'll fix that later. Okay, so that is good setup. You record travel videos and put them up on YouTube, getting everyday 100 viewers. Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations. That's a really good start. All right, so installing wasm bindgen CLI. So I think it's gonna be it's gonna show. Let's see, because it doesn't show here. We're gonna have to come to wasm bindgen. I want to show the error message too. So using Docker. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time before you can monetize your channel. Oh, nice. Okay, well then, slowly building it up. All right, so I'll basically show here, and then basically if you get this error, you need to now install wasm-bindgen CLI exactly with this command. Cargo install wasm-bindgen CLI. Okay. Then let's come to start. Oh, right. You can't listen to the music regardless. So I can actually keep that on and you can't hear it. So it's going to be, oh, there's the text. Oh, no, wrong keyboard. So this is going to be, wasm-bindgen CLI. And you go transform center. Okay, then you're back down here. I actually want to start with just the U page. Okay, so that should be good. All right, here we go. We're going to do a probably short recording for this. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. About to do a short recording for this. Hello, everybody. Welcome Togglebit and Raiders. How y'all doing today? And Togglebit, how's your stream? I am not muted. I shouldn't be muted. Was I muted? Hold on. Was I muted here? No, I should have been. I should have been fine. No, you were muted. Not sure why you said that. Well, okay. Stream was good. Still bugs to iron out. That's great. That's great. Haspy, hello. Yes, we're doing Yew.rs stuff. Today I am recording a sort of like a video to address a bug that was reported with the course, which was basically just a little bit of new information that we have to add in so that the examples actually work properly. Diablo D3, can we remute toggle? We could make that. That could be a project, like a physical hardware device that connects to Twitch chat so that you return in channel points to just mute the mic. Yeah, that could work, right? Also, Togglebit, thank you so much again for the raid. Have a good food, and I'll see you online some other time. Noram, hello. So, okay, I'm gonna record this video. So while I'm recording these videos, I do not respond to chat directly. Although if I'm making a mistake or like, slightly confused, which does tend to happen, then I usually do sort of glance at chat. And then if you're all yelling at me about something, I might react to it, but usually not directly. This will be a pretty short video, so I'll be back to sort of like interacting with you all shortly. This is about wasm-bindgen CLI being required to run basically Yew stuff. So with that, let's go ahead and see if I can do this first try or not. Here we go. There is a possibility that we need to install another cargo package to get everything working with Rust and Yew.rs. Let's go ahead and take a look at what can happen if we don't have the wasm-bindgen CLI package installed. So this was actually a recording. I'm coming to you from the future after the course was completed, and we got a report that if you attempt to run everything, then we get this strange error here that I'm showing, where we say, okay, error from the HTML pipeline, caused by error from asset pipeline, failed downloading release archive, unsupported architecture, which is really like, what? How does that work? However, something that's maybe a little bit helpful. This happens as part of the downloading Wasm Bindgen version 0.2.80. So that's clearly a problem here. So I then went and I installed Cargo Wasm Bindgen CLI. That did fix it. So where to go find this yourself if you want to go sort of like verify. Wasm Bindgen CLI, the crate doesn't really have any information on it, but it does tell you to go to their GitHub. So for Wasm Bindgen, inside of Wasm Bindgen, they have a book, and then this is where they recommend for installation. Here's how to install it. So cargo install -f wasm bindgen CLI. I did that, reran everything, and everything works as expected. So at this point in the course, if you install Wasm Bindgen CLI, you will not run into at least that same problem. And if you do run into any problems, it's a new one that I'm not familiar with. So please let me know in the chat if there's any problems, and I will get them fixed. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, and we are back. I think that was decent enough for recording. So I will see. We planned the video, we recorded the video, and then I'll need to upload that and tweet that out later. So I'll probably do that off stream. So I'll just leave this as sort of in progress here. I should label that video so I actually know what it's called. Come on, show up. Oh, wrong keyboard. OBS recordings. This is, let's see, fixing. What is it called? Like installing Wasm Bindgen CLI. Okay, so I'll do that all later. Let's see. So, let's see. Enrique, thank you. Next up, this is a new thing that we haven't done before, which would be how to add static files to the build directory. So it's kind of something that's important. This would be like an addendum video for introduction to Yew.rs. If you want to add static files, that's something we have to configure in trunk. So let's actually do this as a lesson in here. Does this get all screwed up again? So you're recorded now. Okay, so Noram asked, what is trunk? So trunk is this awesome technology. Let's see where. So trunk is this sort of build tool that we can use that builds our Rust application, packages it up, gets everything going, and serves it. It's like, I'm trying to think of like what exactly it is in like the web development land. It's not exactly just Webpack, because it kind of does the serving too. So it's sort of like Webpack and the CLI tool for like Create React app or for the Vue CLI, except it doesn't spin up and like create our like a bootstrap the code. So it's only the building and serving. So to get things going on it, in the actual introduction to Yew, it has a pretty good introduction. If you install the wasm32 unknown target, and then you install trunk, and you install wasm bindgen CLI, so all three of those things are absolutely necessary. If you install all of those, it's like you're on npm. I mean, also not exactly, because like behind the scenes, it's doing a lot of it will like install some things for you. But then show you in our Docker container here. My command here is just trunk serve. And so trunk serve is going to serve up the code. It finds this index.html in the root of the project, and then it is going to build it in dev mode and dump all the files into dist, and then create a server, which we can then see here, where it serves this up at a location of where I choose. And there's a configuration file that you can set up here. I'm overwriting the address to be 0000 because it's in a Docker file. You can set up and say, well, I don't want it to be indexed to HTML. I want it to be some other file that's served up by default. You can change the routing behavior and do everything else. I really see trunk as a dev tool. I've seen some people on the Yew.rs Discord asking about using trunk in production. I can't recommend that, sort of like I can't recommend using like the Create React app serve or the Vue CLI in production. I really think that something else should be there instead. Like you just use Nginx and like point at index. It'll be fine. Other things are you can set up redirecting and routing and other fun things. And today for this, a little bit more of the sort of the build pack part of trunk. What if we have a static folder with images in it, and we want to copy those into dist? I think that this is going to be an addendum. I keep on, because when I make one VS Code larger, it makes them all like this. Sounds like a build.rs task. Yeah, it kind of does feel like that, except it's an individual CLI command line. So I just type like trunk space serve, or trunk space build, and then that will do the thing. I should also, well, I'll start with this. So we have deploying the app. Let's see, the next addendum. To use dev containers in VS Code. You know, I haven't played with those yet, or at least I don't think I have played with those. I've heard of them though. They do sound interesting, and I might one day want to play around with it. Absolutely, Noram. Glad to sort of like answer any of these questions. Okay, so this is going to be adding static files, like serving up status files. I guess like, maybe handling static files. This is going to be part of the addendum. Let's see. So, copying, basically just like auto-copying. Auto-copying CSS images or other static assets to the dist folder. Because by default, the dist folder is not something that you want to put something into, and trunk by default completely destroys everything inside of there and then rebuilds it, reconstructs it. And you kind of do want to do that, because if you have an old thing in there, you don't want to accidentally deploy what's in dist. And then so trunk, when we build, like for dev mode, we're building with like just trunk build or trunk serve. You can build for production with trunk build -- release, exactly like a cargo run or cargo build. Okay, so handling static files, that's going to be that one. And then I have to remember how to do this because we did it like a few weeks ago. So in assets here, okay, so declaring assets to be processed by trunk is simple and extensible. We declare the asset in a link tag. We must have the attribute data trunk. We must have the attribute rel equals type, where type is one of the asset types listed below. So we have, well, it goes Rust. So we'll compile the specified cargo project as WASM and load it. So in this case, I don't think we actually need this. It figures this one out by default. But here we can have like SAS, SCSS. So I'll figure that out. CSS. Icons. I think what we're interested in is this copy directory. Trunk will recursively copy the directory specified in the href attribute to the dist directory. This content is copied exactly. No hashing is performed. Trunk is, they might change though how they do this. So something to be aware of. Let's find out. Okay, so if I'm deploying the app, did I create? I did not create one for this. I'm kind of surprised I didn't create a deploying the app folder for this one. Oh, because I didn't need to over here, probably. That was like mostly settings in GitHub, because we used GitHub pages for deploying. All right, what was the last lesson that we did look at? So we had the live code project, set timeout. Okay, set timeout there. So all right, so front end, Rust Yew lessons. Let's see, copy RP. We're gonna do set timeout, and I want. Is this the repo for the current project? Full stack to Rust course? Yes, that is indeed it. Want to say I had a command for that, but I may have changed it to like the new project that I've been working on. But yeah, that's it. And then all these videos that I've been making, they're all up on YouTube as well. So my sort of like the style that I do these things is I live stream myself creating the course, and then the YouTube videos come out like sort of one per day. So it takes a lot longer. So you can get a lot more if you like sort of take a look at Twitch, but also I cut them down in so you only get like the actual course on YouTube. Not all of this preparation stuff. Okay, so then for you, what was I going for? I already forgot what I was thinking about. Oh, I know. I wanted to look at this README. We're going to be calling this handling static files. Okay, so there's you. Everything should still be good in here. So I actually want to... Okay, so we're going to come in here. We're going to update index for this. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we're going to update index for it and then tell it to do it. Will you freak out? Also, I need an image. I have... Okay, this will work. I'm gonna call this Zilby Cool. This is the image that we're gonna use. Which also happens to be one of the emotes that we have. All right, so I think that's that. Then let's see if I can get this recorded. First try, because I don't have too much time before I have to head off to work, but I should be able to do it. Let's go ahead and this is going to be uh-oh, what happened? Noram, let's take a look at what that link was. Oh, if you ever need an image, HTTP cat. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that that was the URL for it. Oh, that's weird. https://http.cat/200. Weird. Sorry about that. Nightbot doesn't like links, and we've had some nefarious links in the past. So I basically have it turn off everything that I haven't seen before. I hadn't seen that one at all. I've seen some other cat-based ones, and it's pretty good. Oh, you can change the 200 to any HTTP code. Really? Okay, so that's different than sort of like the some of the previous ones that I've used, which was it would ask for the dimensions going there. So you put like the X and the Y. All right, so what am I doing? This is going to become handling static files. Nope, missed that. Transform center. Okay, we're good there. You should not be hearing the music. Okay, back to this. And I think, oh, you know what? I want to, okay, so before we do this, I want to get this running here. So cd handling static files. Let's go ahead and get this actually running. So we'll do a So trunk serve. This may not work. I need to stop you. Yeah, we don't need to wait through this entire sort of like rebuild process. We'll do this out here. Okay, so that's running. It's running on localhost 8080. So here we have, here's our hello world. So we want a static image to sort of show up down here. Oh, right, this disappears after a short period of time because the last one was the set timeout. Okay, makes sense. Then okay, so that'll, okay, now we have our disk directory there. We'll create a static, we'll do all that kind of stuff. It'll be great. Everything will be great. Let's go ahead and commit all these things. So about to record static, handling static files. And I think we are good to go with this one. Gonna start up here for that. And all right. Maybe I'll close. No, don't want to terminate that process. Probably keep you open. Index to HTML. I want this probably to be in main library. We'll just load up the image in here and display it in here. Oh, maybe I'll start here. This will be where we start. Okay, so okay, I think I'm finally ready. So let's go ahead and do this. Here we go. I am back with another addendum to the Introduction to Yew.rs course. So in this one, we're going to talk about how to handle static files in our web applications. Now, what I mean by static files is anything that doesn't really change that we want to have in some kind of like public folder. So imagine like a global CSS file or an image. Images are actually what I use the most in these type of situations. So let's go over and sort of like add these in and walk through it at the same time, and I'll show you how this entire thing works. So what we want to be able to do is this was copied from the last lesson that we did. I can just go ahead and remove all this. I want to have an image tag here where we say source equals, and I just want to say something like, you know, zilbycool.png. Zilby being the name of my cat. Okay, so I'm gonna give it Zilby. My cat is really cool. Okay, so if I do this, however, and we come back to here, that's not exactly what I was expecting. We have our image source. Oh, right, it's this alt tag. This is displaying here because, let's see. I want to inspect this. This is showing an image, but could not load the image because it couldn't find it. So we need to handle this. We'd actually need to have the image of Zilby inside of here because this dist folder is where it's serving that up. So I need to copy in the image Zilby into here. Now, the first thing you might think about is, well, what if I just copy that image in? And technically that would work. So let me put that in here, come over here, hit refresh. You should be able to find it. You got a 200. No response. This will be cool.png. Oh, cannot be displayed because it contains errors. Well, I should probably not be using this image. Okay, never mind. Cancel on the record. Why is that? Oh, Dropbox. Hold on. How do I make it available locally? It's 0 bytes. I just realized it's 0 bytes. There's this thing that you can do to make it available locally. Make available offline. That's what it is. I know 177 bytes are not many bytes for an image. Absolutely. So, I look over like I could, the thing that like constantly confuses me. There it is. There it is. Okay. So we need to try this one more time. I literally, well, if I just come here, hit save, it disappears. Which is what I'm gonna show is like, you can't do this. So we're gonna go back to that. Actually, I might as well just start here like this. There we go. Okay, and we'll start here. Let's try this again. Take 2. Sometimes we want to be able to handle static files in our Yew.rs web applications. Now, what I mean by static files are things like global CSS files or images that we can then pull from anywhere. And we don't really want to like just pull the raw, base 64 content of an image and have that in our source code. We would rather just have the image in the dist folder and then be able to use that. Let me show you what I mean. So we have our we have an empty blank web app running here. If I create an image tag, I don't want the music running. For some reason, I thought that was off because I thought that was in this one that I didn't have even the desktop audio on. Hold on. Okay, so I want to turn that off. Never mind. So I had the music on in the other one, and I forgot about it. Okay, thank you. Third time's the try. Oh, this one doesn't have the audio. Okay, this screen doesn't have the audio. The other one screens do. Fun. Okay, sorry about that. Third time's the try. Sometimes we want to be able to display static assets in our web applications. These static assets might be something like a global CSS file, or more likely, images that we want to pull and display anywhere. So let's go ahead and set that up for ourselves. So I'm going to switch over to our code. Imagine, if you will, we want to display an image. So we're just going to do image source equals zilbycool.png. Zilby being the name of my cat, who sometimes makes an appearance on the stream when we do that. So alt is really cool cat. Um, close that tag off. If we come back to here, we just see the alt information because the it can't actually find this image. Okay, now this dist folder is where everything is being served from. So if I go and I find my zilbycoolcat file, there that is. And we can come and hit refresh, and yeah, we got a really cool cat here. All right, so the problem here is though, I have it in dist, but if I make any changes and I hit save, it's gone. The entire content of the dist folder gets blown away and recreated every time that we hit save. Now, we could make a change to the trunk config to not do that and keep everything in there and just overwrite files with the same names, but I don't really like that idea. I don't like that because what if we end up having images that we don't want to have on our server anymore? We'd have to remember to go and do that. And something that I've learned over many years is that we should never rely upon us doing something correctly. We should always just use automated systems whenever possible. So how can we actually copy over contents of a static directory over here? So let's actually let's create inside of this folder. We're going to have I'll just call that static, and I'm going to throw zilbycool inside of that. Now, for instructions for how to set this up, we can come to the trunk website that basically tells us everything we need to know for how to set up and configure trunk. So this is a trunk thing. It's not specifically a Yew.rs thing. If we come over here to assets, it actually tells us how we're going to be able to copy these assets over. So first rules here, we must declare as a valid HTML link tag. All right, so it's going to be a link tag. It actually tells us what it's going to look like. It's this link data trunk, rel equals some type, and then href some path, and potentially some other options. So let's go ahead and copy this. We're going to head over into our HTML, and we're going to put this into the head. Now, something to be aware of, this link tag is not going to end up in the final version of your HTML. It's going to be stripped out by trunk during the build process. So you don't have to worry about just a bunch of these sort of polluting your final HTML. All right, so href is going to be the source from the base. It's like from where we're running these things. So if I have this static here, it's not in source. So I just call this static. And I want to copy this entire directory over, including static and everything inside of it. So let's go and see what type we have. So we have Rust. So in case we have another Rust project we want to compile or other Rust files, I don't need to worry about that. SAS or SESS. So you can actually have SAS files and then have them copied and pulled in for you. That's not exactly what we're looking for. CSS, icons, inline, copy file is close, but we're looking for copy directory. So it is this copy -dir. So I'm going to put that into there. I don't need any other options. So I'm going to hit save. And you notice we already have a static directory inside of here with zilbycool inside. So there's only one change we need to make here, which is now we're going to go into static/zilbycool. So options here, we can have like images, we can have static/images, we can have it be like public/images, whatever folder structure you want, it can handle that essentially. I definitely am a fan of having some folder that stores all of these static ones inside of our dist directory. That way it's just not right next to our indexed HTML. To me, it just feels a little bit nicer when I'm looking at the publishable directory. All right, so I've saved that, and we're gonna come back to here, and we're still good. We still have our images. So to recap, we have created a static folder. We put a static asset, this in this case being an image, inside of it, and then we updated our index.html with this link tag to tell trunk to copy the entire directory recursively into the dist folder whenever it rebuilds. And this is going to be true for dev and production mode. So now our static image is available for us to use, and we don't have to do any shenanigans anywhere else. Anyways, hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye. All right, done on that. Grace, thank you, but no. You're behind the scenes. I know it does kind of feel that way. All right, so I've got that all recorded and done too. So if we come down here, create a video checklist. We recorded the video. Now I have to do this, which I can do offline now. Okay, so I'm out of time though, so I don't have the next thing. So probably tomorrow we're gonna start off with adding Bootstrap to the course. So like the Bootstrap CSS framework. It's something that we figured out how to do. It's really not that hard to get something like Bootstrap working with Yew, but I did notice that some people were having trouble with it. And then the other thing is coming up would be Tailwind. That's also something that we can work on and do. But all right, I will have to take care of those later. So I am gonna have to take off to work. As I mentioned, I do these streams every single weekday morning at around 7 a.m. Mountain Time till around 8:15. It's a little bit late today because I do have a full-time day job, so I have to go get ready for that. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Otherwise, I'll see you whenever online. With that, have a great rest of your day, and see you then. Bye.